you're probably right. Something that causes cancer. Any number of things. It's a very valid argument. Unfortunately, now the counter argument is that the levels of the things that you're talking about that are showing up in vaccines are at an amount that is insurmountable. It's not even enough to worry about. It would barely show up in your bloodstream in the levels that it's in.
But who's telling you that? That's the bigger question.
Well, the doctors that are giving you the vaccines, of course.
But who's giving the doctors the information? Is it the same people that would be involved in this giant conspiracy?
Yeah. Of course it is.
So then, therefore, you can't trust the judgment, because the doctors can only go by the information that they have.
That's exactly
right. People
right.
would never release and tell you that this is what they're doing. So therefore, what do? Do you take the risk of killing off people just by disease? Like, literally, it's a catch-22. There's almost no way if and or around it, because if you don't do it, you're going to die from a fucking disease that should have been wiped out hundreds of years ago,
right.
Or you're going to die from whatever you're injecting you with.
Well, not just die, but be somehow genetically altered. You know, I don't think. Part of the naive side of me wants to say it's not population control in the sense of lessening the population. I would say it's more or less, it would be manipulation of us for some nefarious purpose.
But I'm really starting to grasp the concept of, because, I mean, it all comes back to, like, when you go back a bunch of episodes to when I talk about the sterilization of the planet and eliminating 2/3 of the population and everything else.
Sure.
When you take that concept out of my point, which is literally just a point of almost innocence, revert it back to next to nothing, everybody has to fend for themselves. But what the government, like what these big groups want to do, is they want to do it in order to control.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate 2/3 or 7/8 of the population, now all of a sudden you've got these very small pockets of people that you can put in these walled cities and absolutely control them.
And that's why I disagreed with you, because they will pick and choose the 2/3 that they kill. It's not going to be random like your asteroid. It's going to be hand-picked who lives and who dies.
That is, see, and that's what, for me, this is why I love my asteroid theory, because the asteroid theory eliminates, people that... It
eliminates corruption in the process, because the process will be corrupted and money will reign at first. Reign, R-E-I-N, reign, as in...
Yeah.
The rich, the wealthy will get to choose who lives, and the poor will die.
No, but here's the weird thing. If all of this is about money, which it can't be about money, there has to be a bigger plan that has to revolve around more than just money, because you eliminate that many people, you're not bringing in any more money anymore. The amount of money that's coming in is dismal in comparison to... So it has to be about controlling resources.
But it speaks to the same thing as the fentanyl crisis, where... granted, you think you might have less money because you have less population, but you have a lot less administrative costs as well. People cost money. As much as they produce money, they also cost money. And you're chipping away at your overhead every time you kill one of us.
So, yeah, but I mean, that's fine and dandy when you're talking about eliminating like 1/3 of the population. But when you're talking about eliminating a drastic higher number, like when you're talking about eliminating it down to like 5% of what we have.
Yeah, of course. But they in that sense, they would get rid of the 5%. They would only keep the 5% that were financially productive. So that they cost less than they produce.
Yeah, but even then, though, it still becomes less about money and more just about total control.
Yeah, well, that's what I think it is. It is control.
It's just about control. Control the population. Once you have absolute control of the population, at that stage, now you can control. There's no more free media. There's no more free this, free that, free that. Everything, although might not have a cost, because like you don't have to worry about charging people for, like internet, or you don't have to worry about charging people for phones and stuff because you don't need it. But you get to absolutely control what is being done and said.
Sure. And if your question is ultimately, do I think that's happening? Yes, 100% I do. I absolutely think that's happening.
So the only way to stop it is my theory.
The asteroid theory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we all become anti-vaxxers. And I'm not willing to
that's
do
not
that.
going to work, because you're still eliminating the population, and the people in control, the people with this power, they can still vaccinate themselves,
right,
with the clean vaccination without the added stuff into it.
But look how
that does not work.
But look how smart and sneaky they're being about it, because they've got these yahoos on Facebook saying insane shit. And when they come out with a quantifiable answer or a question like you've just asked, suddenly they don't look bad. They've set themselves up that even though we know for a fact they're doing this, all of a sudden they're absolved because they're doing it for the greater good kind of thing at the moment.
I'm never going to say they're doing it. I mean, they're doing it for nefarious reasons. That's it. There's no if, and, or buts about it. There is no greater good, because they're not doing it for a greater good. They're doing it strictly because of power and control. That's it. There's nothing else for it.
Sure, but the people that are calling conspiracy over it are the ones who look out of control. And the government now looks like they've got things under control. And like even you're saying, even you're at a point where you're questioning whether the anti-vaxxers have a point or not. And it's such a great way to backdoor it in without doing any harm to their own reputations. It's absolutely brilliant. They're sick, evil motherfuckers, but they're smart, sick, evil motherfuckers.
Wow. I'm just trying to think, what I'm trying to really figure out with all this is just, is there a way to beat it? Is there a way to win? And the only way to win is death of all.
Not necessarily death, but I would say the only way to win is a complete overhaul of the 20th century. Go back to square one and start all over again.
And the only way to do that is to eliminate.
You would have to eliminate a certain percentage of people. I think a lot more people than you think would be on board with that idea, because a lot of people who were wealthy are now not. A lot of people who should have been never were. I think you'd have actually quite a bit of support for that idea. Overthrow the monetary system, redo it, get rid of the banks, and start over again. Start from scratch. In all walks of life, though, it would have to be all or nothing. We dismantle agriculture, we dismantle the economy, and that's the only way. So, and the easiest way to do that is get killed by a giant asteroid.
Yeah, death to all, I guess. I don't know.
My solution that I came up with last year, I think, is the easiest and best solution for the population crisis. And it's we have to find a way to turn old people into food.
Which comes into my whole idea, which is the best way to be able to control...
kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, control immigration by allowing us to eat people.
Yeah, absolutely. But it would start with eating old people. Find a way to convert people that are on their way out into a nutritious snack. And then it's two-thirds of that problem is solving itself right there. And don't tell us it's people. God, we would need it. But, if you're making me a rat burger and I don't know it's rat, it's probably the best damn rat burger I've ever had.
what fucking movie was that? Where they're like,
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yeah. What do you think this is? Does that look? Do you see any cows around here? No, that's rat. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, and Stallone just chomps away on it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Demolition Man was a very prophetic film. People don't understand that it is probably the closest thing to a dystopian reality ever put in a Hollywood movie, but unfortunately it was made out to be a goofy Stallone movie. But it's actually really quite brilliant.
Yeah, it's true. It was a really good movie.
Right down to the accord where all the restaurants in the States were now Taco Bell.
Yeah, the great fast food war.
So funny. And frighteningly true. I think they would win. They're highly addictive and disgusting, all in one.
I love Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is the Nickelback of fast food because nobody likes it, but they make billions of dollars a year. Somebody's lying. Somebody's not being honest about that.
Yeah, it's true.
Everybody talks about how much they hate it, but yet they're like number 2 or 3 in the fast food world.
And you got to admit, they don't take up much room when they open up their stores. They're very small.
Well, that's because they don't serve food. It's great. They just dip their packaging in that toxic cheese sauce, and you don't notice that there's actually no food there.
That's right. The most authentic thing out of them is the hot sauce.
I actually like their hot sauce.
I love the yellow packet. It's tasty.
I don't know. They dropped the ball with the Dorito thing, and I'll never forgive them for that. They sucked before.
Oh, no. Fuck you. No, that was genius.
Yeah, but they didn't use the zesty one. How do you roll out?
No, they couldn't. They couldn't use the zesty one. They couldn't. They had to be the regular nacho cheese.
No, it should have been zesty, and I'll never forgive them for it.
No, I trust me. I'm on your side. I think that would have been amazing because I'm such a fanatic for that zesty cheese. But it had to be the regular cheese. The regular cheese is the one that's best for the masses. It had to be the regular cheese.
Well, I guess.
Genius business move on their part. I thought that was great.
Well, they lost my vote.
They gained my love forever.
Yeah, but what about the ultimate fries thing?
The Fry Supreme?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's a Canadian thing, by the way. That's not even American.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, though. It should be.
It should be, because when you go to the States, you say, can I get 4 tacos? Cool. Would you like a side taco with that?
Yeah, I thought you were on board with hating them with me for that.
I was on board. That's just another reason to hate America.
Oh, it's just hate America. All right.
That's a reason to hate America, not the company, because they got their shit right up here.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Always funny when you see what fast food companies do in various countries. Like the new Tim Hortons that just opened up in China is hilarious.
Yeah.
With their like fish head Timbits and shit.
It's the same with McDonald's in every country. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah. Scares the hell out of me actually. That's why I don't travel. I'm worried I would starve to death.
Yeah.
Because I'm not exotic with my eating.
See, that's the joys of being fat. I'm exotic with all my eating.
Yeah, you are. You eat well though. You.
That's why I'm fat.
you eat with a. You eat as if you have money.
Oh yeah, I live like I should have fucking money, but yeah, no, I definitely eat like I should have money. There's no getting around that. And I can eat all the gala. I'm just as happy having a fucking Mr. Noodles package as I am having a fucking 8-course fucking diamond fucking store fucking meal.
Actually,
it all makes me just as happy.
The TNT supermarkets have ruined Mr. Noodle for me. I used to love Mr. Noodle until I tried the authentic ramen noodles from like anything that doesn't have English on the package, and they're so superior.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing real about. Have you seen? I don't think you've seen this. Have you seen the videos that's been going around of people using Mr. Noodles packages as forms of like basically cement?
Yeah.
Oh my God! There's a guy who fixed his fucking sink with it.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm hoping it's got a certain level of buoyancy to it because I was hoping to strap a bunch of them together and make my boat to float out to my plastic island on.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
I'm quite the raft builder.